Trying to hide them so don't die. It's not. That one is shouting. She's following him. He's following him. Oh my leg. That's scary. That's scary. That's scary. Hurry, crocodile. It's actually quick. It's actually hurry. Crocodile. Faster, faster. Faster, crocodile.
Hurry up.
What does any mean? And I have a jacket.
Good afternoon, guys. Hey, thank you so much for waiting. Welcome to our Croc Show. My name is Wu. This is Sam. Sam will be doing the Crocs today. But before we begin, we need to go over a quick health and safety. If we could have loud noises to a minimum, please, because believe it or not, these guys are highly reactive. You may have seen it just before. As I was walking away to distract him, he followed me fairly slowly, with the intent of possibly eating me in the process. Also, can we also have kids or hands off the rails, please? Because believe it or not, once again, these guys can jump that distance with the right incentive. If they see a little arm sticking out, they will always see it as a 50% off discount because every day is Boxing Day or Black Friday. And these guys are always looking for a great deal. And exploiting any openings or deals is one of their greatest specialties. And we don't want anyone to be nibbled on today just because it will not be a very fun day to be nibbled on by a large 5-meter saltwater crocodile who happens to be a little over half a ton. And for the best possible show, if we could have kids by the windows and adults take one step back just so that everybody can get a good clear view. Now with that out of the way, we will get started. So as you can see, Goldie is looking at us not in the most affectionate way. He is eyeing us up like a big walking bit of steak. And that's exactly how he sees us. He's not exactly tame, even though we have worked with him for a long time. And these guys will see us as prey. Because what a crocodiles in the wild will see us as a source of prey. And these guys are very opportunistic and they're not very picky with their prey items as long as it's another animal. And because of that, they can survive pretty much almost any condition, combined with the fact these guys are masters of camouflage. As you can see, he may not seem very interested, but he is always planning. Because if you're too eager, you'll miss the shot, and as a result, he is simply, quite literally, testing out the waters just to see what will happen. As you can see, as he is slowly swimming towards Sam, he is generating almost no water ripple whatsoever. If he was to walk underwater, however, he will be completely invisible, especially if the water was murky or muddy. As we all can see on his head, his eyes and his nose are placed strategically just above his head, which means if he needs to have a quick breather, or if he needs to reassess or recalculate his distance, all he has to do is stick out his eyes and his nose to do two things at the same time. So they're very efficient animals in their own right. Also, they can hold their breath for a long time, but also you guys may have seen they can stay absolutely still with almost zero breathing. Crocodiles are very hard to assess when it comes to breathing just because they can slow it down drastically, but also they are masters of staying absolutely still. This is what makes them highly dangerous. His seemingly stubby legs may not seem much, but when he is lunging with his tail, it's a completely different story. So if you are in a known croc country, please do keep at least 10 meters away from a nearby shoreline because these guys could be waiting in ambush. You don't need a particular amount of deep water. Only about half a meter is more than enough to conceal these guys, just given their enormous size. Now with Goldie, however, he comes from Queensland. He came to us from a croc farm. Saltwater crocodiles are often persecuted or executed if they are interacting with people, or especially if there was an accident or a fatality on a known croc country. So any saltwater crocodiles in the area of those dead dogs or any river will be punished as a result. and he was moved to a crop farm, and after a while, he made his way back here, enjoying a great luxurious life in his own very own resort. He has more than enough room to maneuver. You can see with Goldie right now, however, he is eyeing it up. Now he is thinking, how far should I go? That fish looks pretty tempting, and you might also be thinking, that fish looks rather tiny. Looks like a little fisher fillet you get out here at McDonald's, for an animal that size. But because he is cold-blooded, he doesn't have to eat as much as we do. We have to eat 3 times a day to maintain our body heat and our metabolism in our bodies. Whereas him, however, he will slow it down drastically and he will digest them at his own pace. And because that angle was a no-go for him, he is simply trying again and he is repositioning. Also notice how patient he is. Now with crocodiles, one thing to watch out for is that, as I mentioned before, they are highly reactive and he can suddenly lunge without warning. So we have to read his body gesture as often as we can, just because it's an animal that we do not want to make a mistake with. And when he is ready, he will lunge. Now these guys can jump clear out of water just past their hind legs, which is very impressive for an animal that size and that heavy. And despite being allegedly 70 years old, we don't exactly know how long these guys live. There was a case of a 150-year-old specimen, but then again, it's still a mystery to us because these animals are very private animals. They'll rarely show off their lifestyle to us, and they always know that we're approaching, and as a result, they will know way before we spot them. And judging by his tail movement, he is attempting to lunge. And you might see what's called a tail walk with crocodiles. This is not a taught behavior. It's something all crocodiles can do innately, instinctively, and it's something they will use. Notice how responsive and quick he is. This is why we are always on our toes as we reach our board. Now, saltwater crocodiles have another weapon off their arsenal. These guys possess an enormous bite force. And it may look like we're teasing him, but we are simply helping him exercise his muscles. Because here in captivity, we don't get a lot of option when it comes to hunting, and as a result, we wanted to make him work for his prey. Now, going back to his bite force, our bite force is 180 per square inch. On a saltwater crocodile, however, it is 3,500. And despite having seemingly blunt teeth, it finds by no means a pushover. Because of the tremendous bite force, they are essentially pickaxes. But you could say saltwater crocodiles are walking car compactors with legs and very powerful tails, armed to the teeth quite literally, with tough scales and pickaxe-like teeth. If we watch carefully, he might go for another sudden lunge. But he is thinking about it, alright? He is simply waiting for the right time. Because in his head, he is thinking, it might be taken away at the last minute, so I have to think this through. How can I grab that fish easily and as efficiently as possible? And he is always thinking about that.
He's not taking it.
As you see right now, he is incredibly patient. Now, patience is a virtue, and saltwater crocodiles, I would say, may take the crown in that aspect. And he is simply waiting for the right time. There you go. Just down, he was trading and attacked at the own strike. This is what also makes them quite dangerous, because they can also deceive their prey, but also us as well. It's never a calm moment with them. It's an animal we have to be on our toes, because we never know what could happen if we aren't. Now, saltwater crocodiles are ancient animals. They've been around since the dinosaurs, or perhaps even before that. But also notice he's not really because he can only take pictures of it at a time.